Turkeys are gobbling all over the Poconos, and we've got a great show for you just in time for the turkey season. We're talking about hunting with shotguns and some new equipment, new shotguns, some crossbows, traditional bows, and all of the tips and hints that you'll need to have a successful season. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey folks, welcome to this edition of Out in the Open. I'm Alex Zidock.
And I'm Joanne Zidock. Oh boy, have we got a show for you. You always get to learn, and we're going to talk about that, so you can learn to get those birds.
Absolutely, like you did several years ago, many years ago, right?
Right.
Joanne has the honor of being, I think, the first woman ever to be pictured on Pennsylvania Game News, and specifically with a turkey that she shot
right.
about 10-15 years ago at least, but
yes.
She has that honor because before that the Game News just had artwork,
Right.
And she kind of started a kind of a thing there where they started putting some people on Game News, but that was many years ago. You harvested a big bird, and we've got it mounted, of course, and hanging up.
That's right.
Look at it every once in a while, brings back memories. Right?
That's right, absolutely. Who'd ever think that I'd end up on the cover of a magazine?
Yeah. Well, you're a television star, you might as well, you know. Hey, you know, that's what it's all about. It's about having fun and getting out in the woods and getting those memories. And if you harvest a bird, that's fantastic because you also get to enjoy it.
Right.
You can eat it, and eating wild game is just fantastic. Turkeys are super. And there are a lot of turkeys in the Poconos right now, and we see them as we drive around.
Right.
They're out there, and they're starting to really, those big gobblers are starting to really show their strutting and their feathers and doing their act, right?
I think they come in our yard so we can't shoot.
Yeah, I think they come everywhere. I mean, all you got to do is drive through the Poconos and you can see them, you know. And
right.
The good thing is now that Pennsylvania has that split season, you know.
Right.
It starts May 4th, I believe, is when it opens, and then halfway through it changes, so
right.
you can hunt morning and afternoon, you know.
Right.
You can't hunt that Sunday in between.
Right.
But you can hunt, you know, the first couple of weeks in the morning only, and then the afternoon. So a lot of opportunity for people to get out there.
That's right. Nice big turkey like that. Put them in the freezer. You won't have to work all year.
And don't forget the Mentor Youth. Saturday happened.
Right.
You know, the week before the season opened,
right.
You know, you can go online or you can go. You can get the digest that comes with your hunting licenses and get all the information about everything you need about turkey hunting, what you need to do and what you need to know. But we got a great show, so let's move right to it.
Let's go.
Hey folks, it's turkey season, and of course there's shad in the Delaware River, and turkeys are popping up all over the place. And we try to bring you all the experts like we did with the shad fishing story. And we've got Joe Byers with us, who is an expert crossbow hunter and turkey hunter. And Joe, you've been all over the place hunting turkeys in the spring already.
Yes, right.
In other states. You were up in
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Yeah, I go to South Dakota with a group of people every year. The Hat Hears, so the hooked hunting guys, they have a camp. And so they invite us out. We get to try out a lot of new products. And this year we're there before the flocks had broken up. So April the 6th was the first day we were hunting. So
wow, you were hunting early. Yeah,
very early.
We love South Dakota. South Dakota is one of our favorite places.
Me too.
It's got to be a great place this time of the year to hunt.
It's always fun to see, and there's lots of game. That's the good news.
Now, we've always introduced you as the crossbow guy, and you were out there actually hunting with a shotgun.
Well, I was actually hunting with both. I was hunting with a shotgun and a crossbow. And yeah, I'm the editor now of bowhunting.net. Since the last time we talked, that's taken place. And so it's a little odd to be talking about, have an archery guy talk about shotguns. But we used the new Weatherby shotguns this year, and they are revolutionary. Three of us, Larry, Ken, and myself, each killed 20-plus pound birds with these shotguns, made long shots, complete headshots, no spoiled meat. It was just the performance of the shotgun was exceptional.
So that's shooting a pretty tight. That's shooting a pretty tight group.
It shoots a very tight pattern.
Yeah.
And actually, we're using the Federal TSS shot.
Okay.
Which is it's tungsten.
What is that? Is that
it's tungsten?
Okay.
And now those happen to be 20 gauge. I didn't have a box of 12 gauge. We were shooting 12s, but
9 shot.
Number 9 shot.
Wow.
It sounds crazy.
Wow. Yeah, it does.
People, I know our hunting guide. We had an Indian guide. He has a 410, and using this Federal TSS shot, he said last year he killed his turkey with a 410 at 60 yards.
Oh, I can't. That's hard to believe.
It is, but the experience has been this gives you about this number 9 shot, this tungsten shot. It's 50% more dense than lead.
Wow.
That's why you get longer range, because it's like a heavy arrow. I mean, to make that comparison, heavy arrows baseball flies much heavier than a tennis ball, which is almost the same size. More mass, more impact. And that's why you're able to kill turkeys at, again, basically 20 yards extra with this shot.
Now you were shooting these Weatherbies?
Weatherbies, yes.
And what model were they? You remember all different models?
Yeah,
or?
Well, the 18i is their basic model. The new one is called Sorax, S-O-R-A-X.
Okay.
And it's a very versatile gun. You can actually switch it from right-handed to left-handed. That is, you can take the bolt handle off the right side, take it over and put it on the left side. Same with the safety, put it on the left side.
That's amazing. That's
it's
really very
the first time that I've seen that done. They're drilled and tapped for scopes. Now, ironically, the same crossbow scope I used, which was a red dot, this Fast Fire 4.
That's made by Barris. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the same one that was on the shotgun that I used.
Okay.
And red dot sights, I think, are wonderful for turkeys, especially for shotgun hunters, because you have that red dot, you know exactly where you're aiming. And the turkey that I killed, I shot at 35 yards. It was kind of sneaking away from me. It didn't have its head up, but just kind of out. And I dumped him at, say, 35 yards. There wasn't one pellet in the body.
How about that?
And that was, as I'm saying, that shot, tight group, tight choke on the shotgun. I was very impressed with that work.
Now you hunt a couple different states, right? You're going to hunt Pennsylvania, hunt
Maryland, yes.
Basically, you're a Maryland guy, but you hunt Pennsylvania a lot with a lot of stuff.
We're only actually I belong to a hunt club, and we own land in Maryland and Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So yeah, I have 2 licenses every year.
You hunt both places?
Yes.
Okay. And the red dots, they're legal in Pennsylvania, right? These red dot scopes? Yeah,
sure.
They're legal everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no magnification. It's just the red dot.
Okay.
The other thing about the Sorax, they're made in Italy, which is that's a cool thing, I think. But they're finished in Wyoming. The Sheridan, Wyoming, is where the Weatherby plant is, and they use creosote on the metal parts, and so it's a very durable gun. Often camouflage on the stock and the fore end. I mean, you'll see in the picture, it's a really good looking gun.
Yeah, it really is. Looks like you were really successful doing that. And so you got any tips or hints on people before we get into some of the hunting with a crossbow and archery and stuff like that? You got any tips or hints on people who are, like, when you went out? Of course, we all know, anybody that hunts turkey knows, they got great eyesight. So you got to have you got to be camo. You can't move, basically. Yeah,
well, actually, funny you should say that. I'm wearing a brand new set of camouflage. It's called Skre, S-K-R-E, and I like it for a number of reasons. Number one, I like the pattern. It has, you can see the.
It doesn't look traditional.
It's different. It's brand new this year.
Yeah.
But you have two pockets. These chest pockets I love, because you can put my reading glasses, unfortunately, in one. My turkey calls here. Keep my phone here, which is handy for hopefully successful picture taking. And I also like this. It comes with a Volclavia, which is easy to pull up. You can talk through it. You can probably call through it.
Yeah, you can pull up. Yeah. You can pull it down. You just got a little bit of a peak right there.
Yeah,
looking
that's all you got.
Out. Yeah.
And then you just drop it down, and you're normal. And it just I like the whole system. One thing that's unique about it is it's not sold in stores, it's sold online. But when you buy a product, you get a return slip with it. So if it's too tight or too big, or not the right size in some other way, they pay the postage to return it, and they send you what you want back. So if you want XL, or if you want extra small, or whatever, whatever the size is, they will send that to you, and there's no cost. You mentioned one other thing, though, that you were talking about South Dakota and being able to see a long way. I had a chance to try out these new Mavins. These are binoculars that are made in Wyoming also.
So that's great. Hey, that's a good thing.
It's a great thing. And they're customizable. They're designed so if you want to have a family heirloom, they will engrave a person's name or an inscription. You can change the colors. You can order them any way you like. And I know the first turkey we got, we probably wouldn't have gotten if it hadn't been for binoculars. And out there it's more spot and stalk, and that's illegal in Pennsylvania. You can't be sneaking up on turkeys. But it doesn't mean that you can't see where they are. And because the situation, the one big turkey, the biggest one we only got because there was a group of jakes on in a patch of small trees, and I had looked and looked, I could not see them. But when I raised these up, I could see a big red head. He heard the calling, and he was just watching, and so we must have been there 20 minutes until finally they moved away. When they moved away, then we got the chance to move closer and called in a big longbeard. But without the binoculars, I would not.
And that's called Maven, M-A-V-E-N.
Yeah,
right there on the side, and they look kind of neat. They look like they're something that, and made in Wyoming.
They're
how
made,
can you,
yeah.
How can you beat that? Now, Pennsylvania has a split season. Pennsylvania starts May 4th and goes through the month, but halfway through it changes. In the first part of the season, you can only hunt in the morning, till noon, and then the rest of the season you can hunt all day.
Let me jump on that too for a minute. I have a good friend who's a dentist, and he's never killed a turkey. And he said, Joe, I'd really like to go turkey hunting. I said, okay, well, let's wait till the last 2 weeks of the season. Maryland's the same way. I said, we can go in the afternoon. That way you don't have to cancel appointments or anything. So we go out. We try to get in the woods about 3 o'clock. And I really have, up until that time, I really had not done much afternoon turkey hunting. And I was astounded. We had a turkey gobble at us for 2 or 3 hours.
Wow.
I called one in. We had decoys out here. We're all set up here. Where does the turkey do? He comes around right behind us.
Typical.
He didn't get a shot. Another time we set up again. I try and get him in the most likely spot, and the turkey comes the other way. I had to shoot that one, and it was a 20-plus pounder. It was a big one, but I mean they gobbled and gobbled and gobbled and gobbled just like you would think on opening day.
Yeah.
But it was between around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They seem to get active, and I've hunted in the South a fair amount where you can hunt all day there, and the story is down there. If you can get a turkey to gobble in the afternoon, he'll come in. So you just have to be patient, call, and you can be successful, and you don't have to get up at 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning like you do now.
Right.
And it's really very enjoyable. The weather's nice. It's a great time to hunt. The late season.
It's a great time to hunt. Anytime's a good time to hunt in Pennsylvania. Turkey hunt. Anytime you can get out, whatever you can do, you need to get out and do it. Hey, we're going to talk a little bit about archery and crossbow hunting and what you need to do for that, because that's a growing sport. I mean, a lot of people are going out with their crossbows because it makes a nice trophy, right?
Yes, it does.
Absolutely. Hey, don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey folks, welcome back to Out in the Open. We're talking turkey hunting, and we're talking at the beginning of the show. We talked a lot about hunting with a firearm, and now we're going to talk a little bit for all you people out there who are archers. Joe Byers, of course, is known for his crossbow hunting, and Joe, you just got this appointment with an online magazine.
Bowhunting.net.
Bowhunting.net, which is you're the editor.
I'm the editor.
And,
yes.
So you come across all kinds of different things. I'm sure that people want you to talk about and look and check and whatever. Had a successful time out in South Dakota.
Yes.
Did you hunt with the crossbow in South Dakota?
I did. I was unsuccessful.
Okay.
I tried. It's
turkey hunting. When you only have a limited amount of time, you're
Yes.
only out there for a week or something, 4 or 5 days.
Yes.
And you're hunting and you're trying to accomplish a lot of things. You don't have a lot of times, but I'm sure you'll be successful in Pennsylvania or Maryland.
Well, I'm hoping so. Again, our Maryland season came in on the 18th.
Okay.
Pennsylvania, you guys have to wait till the 4th of May, so
Right.
it's quite a good bit later.
Right.
And actually, the first day I saw 5 longbeards.
Okay.
But they just weren't very interested. I had decoys out. I had all my best calling, and I could get them to look. But I had them to 60 yards, but I just couldn't get one closer than that. So, sometimes
that's
it works.
Crossbow and close go together.
Yes, as do compounds. I have a number of friends that like to hunt turkeys with compounds, and actually 2 fellows on our South Dakota trip did kill the turkey with their compound bows.
How about that?
So yeah, they were able to get close and make a good shot. Let me pick my decoy up here for a minute.
Okay.
I actually been watching a video, and any of the things that I say or we talk about here today, if you go to bowhunting.net, you'll probably see a short post about that. And the last one I saw it's called Shoot the Shiny Spot. Now, you don't see it on a hen, but on a gobbler, they have a series of feathers right here, low in the body. And this fellow's premise, he says, I guarantee you shoot a turkey here, you will get him with a bow every time. Because, and the danger, unlike a deer, a turkey can fly. And even if you shoot them through the heart, they can still fly away. And if you don't happen to see which direction they go or whatever, you may not be able to find the bird. His point is, you need to shoot them right here at this shiny spot on the feathers, because it takes out their legs. And if you take out the legs on a wild turkey, it can't fly. They're so big and heavy, especially a gobbler, that all they can do is they can flap their wings, but they don't fly, and you just run out and catch them. So that's an interesting point.
That's a very interesting point, and that's what we're talking about, the differences between hunting with a gun and hunting with any kind of bow, a long bow, crossbow, whatever, compound bow. Basically, turkey, you're talking about shooting turkey in the body or in that shiny spot, as opposed to trying to shoot a headshot with a crossbow. Is that right?
Yeah. Now this is not a bad spot right here if you can get them to stand still.
Right.
That's the other thing about turkeys. They don't stand still very much. They're moving. On a strutting turkey, and strutting turkeys do. That's the advantage of using a hen decoy. Yep. The male comes up and stands and struts, and will be stationary for a few seconds. That's the time. If you shoot them in the shiny spot, then you take them out
and if you have never shot a crossbow and you say, oh, that little neck area is so small, well, with a crossbow, you can certainly put a bolt right where it needs to go. They are right on.
You can shoot up to 20 yards with most crossbows. You can shoot a quarter every time.
No.
If you have a good rest. I mean, you have to be the shooter if you're doing this.
Exactly. You can't do that.
Or your heart's doing this.
Well, that happens, certainly. Now, if you're using a crossbow or using a traditional bow, longbow or compound bow or something else, you use different arrows. But what about the tip? What about the arrow?
Broadheads.
The broadhead. Do we do the same broadhead whenever we're shooting?
As a deer, you can.
No, I'm not deer, but I mean switching between a crossbow and a regular bow.
Typically, you want to use broadheads that are made for crossbows. The reason being, crossbows. This is the 10-point Viper 430. It shoots 100 feet faster than a really fast compound. So when that arrow launches, it is such a catapult that sometimes if you're using mechanical heads, they'll actually open up in flight. And if they open up in flight, then they fly irregularly.
Sure, everywhere.
Yeah. So you want to either use a fixed head, and you can use those on both compounds and crossbows, or if you're using, for example, these are called micro hybrids. They're made by Grim Reaper, and they're designed. They're designed specifically for crossbows. Same with Sever. these are 2-blade broadheads.
Okay, so
The Sever brand.
now these open up, right?
Yeah, they open up.
But they're made specifically for crossbows.
For crossbows, yes.
Okay.
They're designed to withstand the exceptional launch. I guess you'd call it torque.
Could you use these on a traditional bow?
Sure.
Or would you get a different? You could use these on a traditional bow, but you might not want to use
a traditional bow
on a crossbow.
On a crossbow, yes,
okay,
because
so you got to get something specifically for a crossbow, but you could use these on a traditional bow.
You could, yes.
And these do open up.
They open
right?
up, yes.
Okay, and that's kind of like what you need. So what's kind of like the great big difference between hunting with a firearm and hunting with a crossbow? Is it just distance?
Distance and I would say structure. For example, the place that I hunt in Maryland, I have a lady that lets me hunt her 50-acre farm, and it's very unusual turkey habitat. There are a lot of turkeys there. They're there year after year, but it's so thick. It's briars and multiflora roses, and it's just a mess. With the only way I can shoot a turkey because of the thickness. I mean, one little stick, if an arrow hits it,
sure.
Goodness knows where it's going to go.
Sure.
Whereas with a shotgun, if I can see its head, I can kill it if
sure.
it's inside, say, 40 yards. But with the crossbow, you're going to have to get the body out where you can see the shiny
sure.
spot.
Oh, I see. Okay, sure.
And if even their little sticks popping up, again, you don't have a shot.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the biggest difference. You still have to, with a compound bow, drawing the bow is the big
that's
challenge.
The hard part, right? Sure.
Yeah, you almost need a strutting turkey with it.
Yep.
Let its tail come towards you.
Yep.
Then you can draw back, and then wait for it to get
sure.
the right shot.
Sure.
So distance is one thing. I say structures and other things. You can't shoot through sticks or bushes or whatever with an arrow.
And it's more movement, I would think, with a crossbow or a traditional bow than with a shotgun. Yeah, you can keep it on your knees and hold it there forever, basically, But this gets kind of a little difficult. This is more of a challenge.
Oh, it's much more of a challenge.
But it's fun.
But that's the whole idea, is to go out there and have fun. I mean, we're not, neither of us is starving. We have a grocery store nearby.
That's right.
But if you can get your own, harvest your own game, that's the ultimate, adventure. So I think if you make it more challenging, the last year when I got to South Dakota, I had to leave for the airport at 9 o'clock. Okay, using this 10-point crossbow, I got a 20-pound gobbler at 8 o'clock. So I mean, it was the last morning of the last day.
Right.
I was just on cloud nine. I was so excited, and I actually shot. I didn't know about the shiny spot then, but that's where I shot him. I shot him right. Took out both legs. He just flopped around a little bit when I went up and made sure he didn't get away, and he died in seconds. So.
Hey, fantastic! Thank you all. Thank you for all the information. I'm sure the folks out there are excited about turkey hunting. They've got some points and pointers. And once again, it's
bowhunting.net. Yes.
Bowhunting.net.
Yes.
Covers all.
Well,
archery.
Right now, we nationwide. Right now, we're just primarily talking about turkey hunting because that's what people are doing. But as soon as the turkey season's over, then we'll go into all kinds of setting up bows and tuning. And although I do a lot with crossbows, we have a lot of other people that contribute information about how to tune bows, a lot about setting up targets and getting ready, and summer scrapes. We're going to do a lot with summer scrapes because I'm learning their deer will visit these scrape sites year round. I just didn't know that.
People will have to look online.
They'll have to look online. Yeah, check us out again, bowhunting.net, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming out.
Okay, my pleasure, Alex.
It's been fun. Don't go away, we'll be. We're right back. Well, what do you think? Did you get enough information about that little silver spot right here where the feathers come down?
No problem, I see it.
Yeah, you see it. We see them all the times, but we don't hunt with crossbows for turkey or anything. Occasionally we get out. Sometimes we get out with the shotguns and do something there, but a lot of good information, and there are some subtle differences between hunting with a shotgun and hunting with a bow. I mean, you know, you have to imagine that. And a lot more people are hunting with bows and you know, and hunting with crossbows now. So that's a big thing.
And it's good. What we've just learned is because our people that see the show are going to say that, and they say, "Oh, I never noticed the turkeys going by, and I could see that shiny spot."
They're going to be looking for it, aren't they? Look for the shiny spot, and you'll be successful. Hope you enjoyed the show. We enjoyed bringing it to you. We're going to be somewhere.
We're going to be out in the open.
Absolutely.